Wow, well, here we are. I got my, from Retro USB, the lovely AVS console. Just got it in the mail, and this came really quickly, like unexpectedly fast. Once it shipped and was out of production, yeah, I mean, it came here at lightning speed. Might have something to do with it being priority mail. But anyway, here we are. Oh, forgive me, by the way, if I don't sound super on game. I just woke up, unfortunately. So, I just woke up. So, here's the AVS, and it's fucking amazing. I can't wait. So, here's the box. Very simple. Good stuff. Retro USB, doing some great work. I'm going to flip it over here, and here is what the beautiful system is going to look like. Flip open that door, slide in an NES cart, and then of course underneath that cart we got our Famicom slot, and the Famicom exportion on the back. And it's powered by USB, which is great. So if you have a USB port on your HD TV, you can just hook that up to that and not take up another space in your outlet. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And then HDMI, of course. And here's the lovely official seal of quality. Great. Here's all these great features and a fantastic, fantastic system. Now, we're going to open this baby up. Let's see what's going on here. Of course, we got some great guerrilla style filming here with just one-handed opening a box because I have to hold this phone and I still don't have a tripod for my phone, even though this is what I've been using to film most of my videos lately, so I should get a tripod, and they're not that expensive either. I bought one for my friend, but not myself. Okay, so that's the box empty. Oh, and here we go. Ooh. Yeah, first impressions just touching this thing, and from what I've heard around the internet, this the build of this is pretty quality. Oops, power button was already pushed in. And also, I have to mention this because it seems like every video on this thing mentions this. But word is on the street, on the beat, is that the power and reset buttons used on this thing are actually surplus real power and reset buttons from the original NES system that they used in this console, which is pretty neat. Reset button pushes really well, power button clicks just as you'd expect, and that's the power LED there. Fantastic look, and let's see, we got some cables. This is the HDMI, fantastic, and here's the USB for power, which is great, and they include a little USB AC adapter in case your TV doesn't have the a USB port to plug that into. Oops, sorry for my finger. I can't really seem to get that open. This is a really entertaining part of the video. You know what? Hold on a second. There we go. Much better. Okay, anyway. So far we got our HDMI, which is included. Great. I don't know how long that is, but we'll see in a moment. Here's the, it's a mini USB. It's powered. So that's for the power. And the AC adapter. Plug that into the wall with it. And here we go, the actual console itself. I'm going to lift this out of the box. The tray. Ooh, very nice. First impressions, it feels fairly lightweight, but it doesn't have a cheapness to the feel. Like I said before, the build quality feels really nice, pretty solid, really good stuff. This is the different angles of it. Here, of course, the built-in 4-score. You know, 4 controllers, not having to worry about that adapter, which is great. Here's all the ports, the Famicom expansion, so you can use the light gun that was made for the Famicom, except, oh, wait a sec, no light gun support, unfortunately. You can still use it in there and it'll respond, but the problem is you won't be able to actually use it correctly because, of course, those are meant for CRTs, so using it on any modern television won't work. Then we have the USB for power and the HDMI. Okay, so now let's take a look at the top here. So here's the door. Let's open this up. No resistance or anything like that. It just stays up, so that's good. Just close it when you got the game in there. Let's try to get some light in there. There we go. So here in the front, like I mentioned, this is the lovely Famicom slot, which is great. You can play all your imported Famicom games, no problem. And then way in the back there, you could probably make it out. There you go. That is the direct board connection of a 72-pin connector for your NES games, which is great because there's none of this bullshit with the original NES where you slide in the game, it's not connected to the pins, push the whole cartridge down till it clicks in the position, then it's bent the pins and it's touching them. Yeah, that's a nightmare because it just ruins the pin connectors over time. So that's why this is much better, because you're just getting a direct connection to the board with the cartridge, much like the original Famicom did with its top-loading nature. And just for nostalgia purposes, they made it so you have to slide in the NES cartridges just like you would with the original, like I'll demonstrate now. Okay, so we got a different angle now, but anyway, here as an example, we've got the lovely original Legend of Zelda Gold cart, and it's all cleaned, it's 100%, and we're going to open that up. We're going to see, and I've heard that this is quite a tight connection, so let's see. Ooh. No, hang on. Ooh, oh yeah. That is quite a tight connection. You heard that big click. That was me just pushing it in there, and yeah, that's not going anywhere, and that's just sitting right in there, no problem. And it clears the door, and just tucked away, no problem. Very, very nice. Let's see about getting this out with one hand. Boy. Well, that's not too bad, actually. Yeah, it definitely bites the cartridge for sure, but you're definitely guaranteed a stable, direct, nice connection on those pins for sure. So that's good. Very, very, very nice. Now we're going to check out just popping in a Famicom cartridge, and after that we'll hook it up and we'll see how it works. Alright, so I got a couple Famicom cartridges to try out. First off, we're going to try a really awesome game called Layla, which is a Famicom exclusive game, never came out in the States. Really cool, like 80s or early 90s anime design with these characters. That's one thing that really attracted me to it at first. I was like, oh, I like this character design. And then I played the game and I was like, wow, this is a piece of shit. No, it can be a little bit difficult and kind of cryptic, but pretty cool game. Cool music, interesting gameplay. So anyway, here's the cartridge. Put that in that slot. There we go. A really nice, oops, a really nice solid connection right there. That's not going anywhere. And that just fits in there really nicely. So there you go. And you could put the door down too, but it's not going to go down all the way. So yeah, then just pop it out, no problem. Yeah, alright, come on, work with me. And now, just for shits and gigs, let's try something else, which it will work, yes. But I just wanted to show this. The Cool Boy, definitely a Hong Kong special, a pirate cart, whatever. I got this from my local retro game store. I just had to because it just was hilarious to me. It's got this fantastic art of Chris and Sheva from Resident Evil 5 and 401. Ooh! So let's put in this lovely. There we go. Yeah, a great Hong Kong special there. Good stuff. That's a nice little multi-cart. There we go. Take that out. So anyway, so there's that. We've got the AVS fitting NES games, which is what we care about most here, very nicely, and of course our lovely Famicom games fits in the other Famicom slot very well. And unfortunately I don't have one, but this does actually support the Famicom disk system, which is awesome. It's a kind of a weird fit apparently with the module that you have to hook up into the controller port, or the cartridge slot. It's this big hunk of plastic. You just shove into the Famicom slot, and then you hook in the other thing into the expansion port in the back here. And then you could have the little disc system on the side, pop in those discs, and there you go. You could play some Famicom Disk System games, which is fucking sweet. But yeah, from what I understand, there's kind of an awkward fit in here with that big module. But it does fit, so that's good. So now, we're going to move on to hooking it up to my TV. I'm going to put it right there, and we're going to see how things look in that HD crispness. We're going to take a look at those chunky pixels. Okay, so we've got the system all hooked up right here into my TV. Just like I said, if you got a USB port on your TV up here, you plug that in and it'll power up no problem. That's what it's running off now, is the TV. Hooked up to the HDMI, which the cable ended up being about 6 feet, which is great. And then here we go, with our 4-score in the front. You just plug in any of your compatible NES controllers, turbo controllers, the Max, Advantage, whatever you got. It's going to work in this as long as it's got the original NES connector here. And what's great about these ports is it fits in there like a glove. Alright, so anyway, here we go. Got this hooked up to my NES controller here, this original one. And here's what it looks like. Already, right off the bat, you can tell just the clear pixel quality we're getting from this. Now, what's interesting about the AVS is it has a main menu here. You can turn this off in the options if you just want to put in a cartridge and start the game, but this is definitely a good thing to check out as well. So you have multiple options like you would on a modern console when you boot it up. You can just start the card immediately. You have this scoreboard, which is amazing. What this does is it hooks up to, I think it's from Nintendo Age. It keeps track of your actual game scores in your games for high scores, and then you can hook this up to your computer and upload these high scores to their scoreboard on their database for worldwide score sharing. This is your video options, which is important, and input options for different button inputs, and you could turn turbo controls on and off if you want. And this is amazing. This is Game Genie cheat codes they've actually built in to the console. So it'll detect whatever game you have in there from its cartridge and then bring up all the cheats that they have in there that you could automatically turn on or off, which is amazing. And if you have any Game Genie cheat codes, of course, you look it up online, you can input them yourself if they're not present there. So that's amazing. Now we're going to check out the video options real quick. Video mode, it's already set to NTSC. You can change it to PAL if you want as well. If you have PAL games. Pixel aspect, that changes the way that the pixels stretch, so you can have like a more true 4:3 experience, or if you want to just fill the whole screen, you can. It'll be a little stretched out pixel wise, but it'll look nice on your full TV. I think I'm going to try that out first just to see how that looks, if I'm happy with it. And the next is the vertical border, which is interesting because there are several NES games where if you get close to the top of the screen, usually some weird stuff's going to start happening with the sprites. Scan lines, they do have an option for that. You could turn them on or off. It's very interesting because there's some fairly decent looking scan lines, as you can see. A little blurry on my phone camera here. There you go. I mean, they look alright, but I don't know. All in all with this, I think I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off. But there is an intensity rating here that you can slide up and down and make the scan lines more intense or completely off, which I'm going to have for sure. Left side, that's another thing with the NES and sprite management. You hide the left side. There's a lot of times when, like, on the left side of the screen, you see a bunch of pixel garbage that starts just generating, because a lot of times if you're on a wide display, you see some stuff you weren't ever really meant to see from the programmers. Extra sprites, this is interesting. There's obviously a big flicker issue with the NES because of having too many sprites on the screen at a time, and you can kind of turn this on, and what this does is expands the limit of sprites that can be on the screen at the same time, so it'll get rid of that flicker a lot of the time. It'll still be there every once in a while, but it'll be a lot less. Apparently, from what I understand, that causes some problems with a couple games, so yeah, I'm going to opt out of using that. I'm not sure what that volume option was at the bottom, but I'm sure I'll find out at some point. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that same Zelda cart and we're going to plug it in and see how things go. I'm going to pop this in. There we go. I don't recommend doing that while the system's on. I just did that for some reason. But we're going to boot it up. And here we go. And here's my stupid TV. See, here's the only problem with doing the USB connection. With my TV anyway, I have a Sharp. It automatically is like, oh, you know, you got something in USB. Should we turn multimedia on? Well, it's not. Anyway, so what's cool is, I think you saw before with the Game Genie logo when we were looking at it, it was just white. I didn't have a game in there. But if it has a game in there and it detects what it is, it's going to turn red and yellow here. And then you can access the cheat codes. And here's all the spaces for the cheat codes. And let's see, we're going to select the first one. Oh, and there's already a code there, but what is it? I don't know. 1, 2... Oh, wait a sec. Oh, okay, never mind. So what's going on here is, yeah, it's letting me input whatever Game Genie code I want to put in. You can look those up on the internet, of course. But, yeah, I assume that with, you could do... What's interesting is because this says USB, you can actually do firmware updates on this from Retro USB. I assume with the latest firmware update, they probably included those codes, or there's just a way to input them yourself. I don't really know. I'm not an expert on this console. I'm only going based on stuff I've seen. So anyway, I could be talking out my ass, so don't worry about me. So now we're going to start the cart. Wow. Like, okay, first impressions, like, this just looks amazing. Look at that. Do you see that pixel clarity? Wow. Look at this. No graininess, no noise. It's just going. Ganon. Yeah. Look at that. Let's skip that. Here we go. Good old Linky Poo. So anyway, yeah, one unfortunate thing about this is if you want to change anything from the video settings or go to the menu or anything, you can, but what it's going to do is it's going to automatically just turn off the game. Like, you have to start the game again and it won't pick up where you left off. So that's unfortunate, but expected. So anyway, I'm going to name my link here. Let's see. I'm doing this one-handed, of course, unfortunately. I won't make this video go on any longer than it really needs to, but... Alright, so let's just start. Oh, absolution. Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I can tell you this just looks ridiculously phenomenal. Like, just look at the clarity here. And this is filling up my whole TV. You know, of course we're stretching out the pixels a little bit, but yeah, I mean, this playing on this, like this right here is your best option if you want to use actual hardware, your real NES and Famicom cartridges, and play them on your HD setup. You can't go wrong with this thing. The AVS is absolutely amazing. I can't really do it too much justice just recording it off my phone on my TV here, but yeah, I don't really have HD capture, unfortunately. But you definitely get this idea of how fantastic it is. And besides, there are tons of other videos out there professionally done that do have HD capture and, you know, show you the comparisons, the HD quality of the pixels and all that. But yeah, this is great. Really good stuff here. Yeah, again, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this, filling up the whole screen, or going to 4x3. I don't know. I feel like I might stick with this, though. Just to kind of give it that HD experience where usually, you know, we're filling up the whole screen. Anyway. Classic. Buy something, will ya? Alright, so enough of that. We're going to turn this off. And we're going to go ahead and take that out. And I'm going to put in a random Famicom game. And we'll check that out real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Alright, so here's a classic we popped in. We got good old Super Mario Brothers 3. I'm just going to put that down here. And let's boot it up and see what happens. Oh, of course, USB detected. Alright, here we go. We're just going to go ahead and start the cart, see what happens. I'll be right back. It just needed a bit of talking to. So anyway, let's go ahead and turn that on again. USB detected, whatever. Alright, here we go. We are going to start the cart. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that clarity, son. Mario 3. Oh, the colors are great. The clarity of the pixels, absolutely amazing. The sound is also very good. Really good stuff. Oh god, hang on. Okay. Again, one-handed, but, you know. Yeah, and and the other thing is, so far, I'm not really seeing much of that side pixel garbage stuff that's generated. Oh, I'm seeing a little bit. You can see there, a little bit. This game I found is notorious for that. It happens a lot. You kind of see it over there on the left a little bit. Of course, we could move that slider over a bit more and kind of fix that. But yeah, here's Mario looking great. Look at that, just really fantastic stuff. Again, I can't really do it too much justice just recording off my phone, but this is how it is. Let's die. I'm just gonna die real quick. But yeah, there you go. I mean, that's pretty much the AVS. It's funny because originally I was really into trying to get a NES Classic Edition, but I couldn't get it because it's sold out everywhere, and eBay gougers are asking for ridiculous prices for it now, of course. And when I realized, you know what, this is probably a good idea to not get that, because I could just get something like this, and you have infinite possibility for NES games, NES or Famicom games. If you got the cart, pop it in and play it. Or you have a flash cart, and you could play that on here as well. It'll work no problem. This reads any NES or Famicom games, no problem, because it simulates the actual hardware of the system. And it outputs an amazing quality image. These pin connectors are amazing. It just bites the cartridge and just gives you a solid connection. And this is it. Yeah, fan-fucking-tastic. This is great. A really, really great alternative to the original hardware. If you got an NES that's shitty or broken, consider this if you want a really clear HD experience with your classic NES or Famicom games. So yeah, can't really say any more about this. It's really good stuff. And just to top it off, I guess, we have the little manual that came with it that gives you all kinds of actual instructions and tells you everything about every mode and what to do. And it's very set up like a cute little NES manual, even with a space for notes. So yeah, there you go. Great stuff. The AVS by Retro USB is a top quality product, and I love it. Thank you very much for this. This is great. Retro USB does great work. Definitely check them out. They have several items for sale, and this is my first time ever getting anything from Retro USB, and it's just been a solid experience overall. So great stuff. I can't say anything more good about them. So there you go. Great stuff, and thanks for watching.